Hi everybody, I'm back. It's Jill Blanchett. I've got my final card, technically a 6th card, but it's only really my 5th different card because, as you remember, on the first card, I made it look like this one here. I just had to mount it on cardstock. So I'm doing 2 cards from each of these, and this is my final card from the pine trees. It looks like this. This is my prototype, so it's really rough. I'm hoping that it's going to fold up a little better this time. So we're going to start with a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 11 by 4 1/4. We're going to fold that in half. And I am going to build it a little bit different. No, I don't think so. We'll build it like this. So we're going to build the front first, and that is going to use this piece. And technically, if you think it's too thick, you could leave this piece off somewhat, I would think. And then we're going to use this piece here. And so we're just going to glue these two together. But you know what I am going to do just to make this work a little bit better? I'm going to trim so that I'm not trying to cut through both pieces, if that makes sense. So let me just verify how wide I need this. 4 inches. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches along the right hand side just to get this. Oh, I must have more than one here. I must have both of them here because it's very hard to cut. Yes, I do have both of them there. All right, so I cut them down. Or not. Oh, it's only one. It's just really thick. That's probably why I had such a hard time. So I cut that one down to 4 inches. And then I'm going to stick these two together. You can glue them, use some tear tape. I'm going to go ahead and try and use some glue. Glue them together here. I'm going to try and go kind of slow, so this video may take a little bit longer. I just don't want to get going too fast and mess up my thoughts here. So now I'm going to score this at 4 inches. And then I'll go ahead and kind of burnish that like that. So now we're just dealing with the 1 thickness of the cardstock or the die cut. And then we're going to go ahead and put some glue on that right here. And we're going to glue that to the card. So let's see if it works better if I go this way. And let's fold it over, make sure we're getting it on there straight. All right, so there's our front flap. Should fold over. We can give it another good crease right there to help it know that that's where it wants to go. We've got our inside panel then. Our next panel is going to be the piece of card that we didn't use from the first kit, or the first card from this. We're going to cut that down as well to 4 inches. And then we want it to be 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut it all off the top because we want it to be the same so that our trees line up. And then we'll glue that down. And I glued it to the bottom as close over as I could because we want it to kind of line up. We want the scene to flow. So let's go ahead and glue this on. It might be, did I not cut it straight? I can trim that up. So we're going to go ahead and glue this on. And again, I'm going to glue it right to the right hand side. And I'm okay with this nice border around that side. It's okay if it's, oh, it looks like I got it on there. Okay, so now it should overlap like that. Should be on there pretty evenly. And it is a little bit off, but it just looks like another part of the mountain range up there. All right. So here, let's go to the inside now, and then we'll work our way back out. So now we're going to flip it up. And on the inside, I have just a white piece that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And we're going to use that to cover up like this seam. You could even go on the 1/8 and then it will even cover it up a lot more. So I'm going to go get another piece, or you could go ahead and put it down here in this corner, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in this corner like the one on the front part. So we want to stamp and get all that done, because you can see here I changed my mind on what I wanted to say on the inside. So we're going to stamp Best Dad Ever on the inside in Misty Moonlight. Best Dad Ever. Oh, I don't have, oh, my dad doesn't have ink on it. I could see that right through the stamp. Okay, let's get this guy on here. Gotta make sure he's straight. Best Dad Ever. Then we've got the trees. And I'm just going to glue that flat. I don't really need any more, too much more like dimension going on, because there's enough with the flaps and the other pieces. So we're going to glue this down into the lower left. Then we're going to glue it to the inside. And again, if you want to go on the 1/8, that would be great to cover up the majority of this connection piece here. Or what I just discovered is I'm going to try and just put it right down here in the lower right corner. And then this border will mimic the outside. And I probably need to move it over just a smidge so I got room to close. So maybe just go on the 1/8, ladies. Because we're still getting a little tiny border, because we need to make sure we got room for it to close. But it still mimics a little bit of the previous page. So, and when I peeled it up, I lost all my glue. Okay, so now we'll work our way back to the front. So then on this piece, I used Misty Moonlight, and I grabbed the You Mean the World to Me stamp. down here. I'm going to put a little bit of my anti-static powder on there. We're going to use our Misty Moonlight ink. Let me get my embossing powder out handy. You can stamp with your ink pads and get any color of like embossed look that you would like. Just got to be kind of fast because this ink will dry up faster than Versamark. So we've got the You World Mean the World to Me. I'm going to put my powder on it so that it's sticky while it's still wet. Tap that off. Grab my heat tool and go from the powder to the shine. There we go. And you can do all this before you put it together. And then now we will work our way to the front panel. And let me close this up. And we're going to use the words that came, thank you for being the person you are. And then I've got one of these white pieces from the kit. So I'm just going to glue that on there, flat, and then I'll pop this up over the top. And I don't know if you could see through this, maybe, oh, I guess I got it on that one too. I was going to say, you may go a little bit lower. You can kind of see that through the vellum, but, you know, probably nobody's going to look that close. But you could also move it down a little bit if you don't like it up that high. So now I'm going to put my white piece down. And then I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of this piece. Look how quick this video came together. I thought it might take me a little bit longer. I thought I would be messing around a little more with it, fiddling to get it to work, but it came together really quick. So then we're going to stick that on over the white. So there we have it. Our final card from the kit. So that's it for May. You might want to not do that while it's put together. That heat embossing kind of curled my paper a little bit, but just gotta straighten it back out, probably the glue underneath. But anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you for watching. I will be back next month. Again, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, following, all the good stuff that goes with. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great month, and I'll see you with the next kit.